Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam, and we're back with some more World of Tanks stuff. This time I'm just sitting in the garage because I want to go over the basics of this game. And to that, let's just go to the battle tutorial. And from here, I will try to give you guys examples and kind of the basics of this game so that you can hear it or understand it better. Oh, wait. Yeah. Alright, this guy will be pretty annoying. So, and of course, this is just your standard movement tutorial. And right now we're in the E8 Sherman, which is your standard American medium tank. It's a pretty nice tank. Has a fairly punchy gun with 115 alpha damage and 120 millimeters of penetration, meaning that for tier for tier, anything it will go up against will most likely be able to penetrate. So from here, I will show you guys a little bit about this game, the little bit of higher knowledge stuff where you would, not quite, know right off the bat. Okay, so let's take a look at this tank. All right, so of course I don't have like my zoom mod, so I can't zoom in on my tank. But as you can see, the frontal armor is at a decent slope, making it difficult for an enemy to penetrate, especially if you angle your armor, maybe at an angle about 45 degrees. This would make it especially hard to penetrate. As you see these little hatches on top of the turret, these are cupolas, whether they be driver hatches, commander hatches, radio man hatches, doesn't matter, but they are a huge vital weak spot in most tanks. Some of the tanks disguise these as actual strong points, so debate an enemy into shooting it and not doing damage. All tanks have just about the same weakness of the lower plate. It is not very viewable on this tank, but it is there. It is, where the frontal armor meets the bottom plate, and any of that bottom plate is extremely vulnerable to penetration. Of course, the sides and the rear of just about every tank you come across is a weak point, and you will not want to give your enemy your full side, rear, or front for the most part. Some tanks are different, but we'll get to that when that comes up. So let's go to the basics here. Alright, so of course the standard aiming, a little bit of a lock on. Right. And now they want us to destroy the vehicle, but let's actually view this tank. This is a PZ3. It's a tier 4. As you can see, like I said before, that cupola on top, right there. It's an extremely weak spot. This whole tank has a lot of flat armor, and flat armor is generally really easy to penetrate. So, yeah, that's really, really simple. This is a really low tier tank, and you would very rarely ever see this type of tank against this. So, I actually missed. I don't like the whole aiming from this in a third person. I tend to miss a lot, but yeah. We'll go to the next area where we could actually use the zoom function, and then I could go a little bit more in depth, even more so, on armor weaknesses, strengths, and that kind of thing. Alright, Tiger 2, Tier 8, German Heavy. Right. As you can tell, frontal armor, like I said, it should bounce, right? Why won't it let me zoom? But there's a weakness here on the tank. See that little MG port? They are generally weaknesses and can easily be penetrated. I don't know if I'll be able to penetrate from third person view or not. I think I missed. Yeah, it's really hard to hit from third person. Maybe here. Yeah, I probably won't be able to do it. So, alright, let's go turret. Frontal turret, of course, should be strong because it should be facing towards the enemy. So yeah, you shouldn't be able to penetrate. You might even bounce off at this angle because it's a well-angled surface. Lower plate should easily be able to pen Tiger 2 lower plate. I don't know if I will actually be able to see it in third person though. Yeah, I can't see it from third person view. Maybe here? No. This is why I absolutely hate third person view. But yeah, as you can see, even a well-angled lower plate can bounce around. But, you know, penetrate rear of the turret, rear of the tank, just about any flat surface. And here, once you use auto aim, you don't use auto aim, trust me. Side of the turret at this angle, easy to penetrate. Yeah, if you can get on, you know, something that's not the front of an enemy tank, your shells will most likely go in. Tracks can also be kind of strong and weak at the same time. If you hit them in the right spot, it will do no damage but destroy the track. Also, if you hit them in the right spot, it will destroy the track and deal damage to them. And that can be very useful. And here it will show you how to learn, yeah. Bushes give camo rating, you know. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to see a tank through there. Alright, here you can finally use the zoom functionality, so let's see, what tank is that? It's a Panther. It's tier 7. Alright, Panther, not extremely strong armor, honestly. German mediums don't tend to have a lot of armor in general. But here, let us go and view this tank. And like I said, this is just the basics. There's a lot more in-depth, and when I do analysis on my gameplay, you'll see the more in-depth functionalities of the game. Alright, so Panther 2, front of the turret, you know, turret mantlet, as it's called, on this tank isn't that strong. Most tanks it really is strong. Let's see if I can track him. See, critical hit with 0 damage. That's a tracking shot generally. You could shoot, that is the part, the cogwheel there is where you'd want to shoot to deal damage and track. There we go. There we go. Alright, so I destroyed his track without doing damage to him. Right, and then you could keep shooting it and without doing damage. Right, alright, but if you had more of his side, oh wow, this gun doesn't have, or this tank doesn't have a lot of gun depression. If you had more of its side, oh, get back here. You could hit his cogwheel and keep him tracked. Come on. I have the side. I'm going to wait for him to turn a little bit more. Okay. There we go. So, you could shoot the cogwheel here, and most of the time it will dual damage if you're at, you know, there we go. At this kind of angle right here, this will do damage. Right. So yeah. That's pretty much the basics of World of Tanks. There, of course, is more to it, and I will go further in depth in my analysis videos of my gameplay. But from there, you can kind of understand, you know, each tank has its strengths and weaknesses. Like, for instance, KV-1, basic tier 5, Russian heavy. MG port, as I said, is extremely weak. It has it's not very angled here, so this would be a 45-degree fighter, meaning that you want to come in, get them at a 45-degree angle, and so it hides a lot of your lower plate, makes your lower plate harder to penetrate, makes all of your armor harder to penetrate. Cheeks of turrets are generally fairly weak, like here and here. Viewports here and here, very small in this tank. That would be a hatch. This would be considered a hatch to be able to shoot, and that's a weak spot. This would be a driver's hatch, a weak spot. This right here would be a weak spot. But other than that, you know, the basics, everything else is fairly strong. And of course, this would be where you would want to shoot to track and deal damage. Same with the rear of the tank. These, if you shoot them, it most likely will not penetrate if it's at any bit of an angle. So like if you're coming in here, shoot this, it's no point. Other tanks have different armor classifications, such as this tank. It has spaced armor, meaning it has a plate of armor here, tracks, and then a plate of armor on its hull. This is spaced armor. This is good against high explosive rounds because this plate absorbs most of the damage and it will do nothing to hit. This turret, the turret on this tank is fairly weak. As you can see, it's extremely flat. Yeah, it has thick armor, but it's a flat surface, making it easy to penetrate. Same with the front and the lower plate. Let me show you a tank with an easy to view lower plate. The IS. No, not really. Same kind of lower plate as the KV1 here. I'm trying to find one that's a little bit easier to... here. This is perfect. Alright, your frontal armor. This is not well angled, but it will still bounce shells at 45 degrees. This is pretty well angled. If they shoot here, it's not going in. It's going in if it hits there. The turret on this one, yes, it's very flat, but it's very thick armor, and it's kind of spaced. So that's fairly difficult to penetrate. But the lower plate, as you can see, is quite visible here. If you want to reliably deal damage to this tank frontally, you would want to shoot the AMG port or the lower plate, or of course the commander's hatch. But other than that, you know, your basics. Once again, basics. And I'll go further in depth in more videos, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Sorry if it's kind of monotonous. I just want you guys to understand the game, so when I post videos of analysis of my gameplay and what I did wrong, what I did right, what I think I should have done here, you can better understand and realize with me, and make you a better player at this game and other games that have similar functionalities. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.